What's going on, everybody? This is 86th, and I am back with some more Albion Online content. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the game in general and just some of the things in the game that maybe people don't know about or might be misleading. And people might think that this is a straight up hardcore MMO, and why it does have hardcore elements. There is still plenty of stuff for newer players and people who don't want to lose their gear to do, such as you could still do solo dungeons. Mainly if you stay in the blue and yellow zones. You can do all the content in those zones without losing all your gear. It's like a really good way to practice content in the game, such as corrupted dungeons. You could practice those in the tier 4 and 5 zones and even lower zones. I don't know if they show up in the lower zones, but corrupted dungeons that show up in these zones, you can actually do those dungeons, and when you die, if you get killed by another player, you don't lose your gear. So it's a really good way to practice corrupted dungeons, and I think a lot of people go into this game or hear about this game and just think that they're always going to lose their gear, regardless, and that is not the case. You can play a lot of content without actually losing your gear. You can do arenas. You could still do crystal arena. You could do solo dungeons, corrupted dungeons. Just a lot of content you could still gather. You could still do a lot of stuff to help out the economy and make a lot of money in the game that's not requiring you to go into the red and black zone. And even then, the buy-in entry for gear for that is relatively low. So all you really have to do is farm these zones for a little while, make like 100K, and then you can buy a tier T4 set that's good enough to go into these zones, the red and black zones, to farm the materials and gear. And there's also sets that you could buy that are lower currency, and buy the stuff that you want um, to be able to go out into those zones. So there's things that you could do to still progress in this game without losing your content, losing all your gear and everything you've worked for. And I just really feel like a lot of players go into this game thinking that they're just going to lose their gear no matter what they do. And that's really not the case. And I really just feel like this game kind of needs more attention. After I've been playing it, I'm just really enjoying it and really just enjoying so many aspects of the game. And when compared to a lot of other MMORPGs that are out there, it just has so much to offer, and it's just completely underrated. I feel like in the MMORPG space, and the fact that you could play a mobile and it's pretty much exactly the same, except you use touch controls. You could even use a controller on mobile. It's just, to me, it's an amazing game. When you have shit like Diablo Immortal out there that people try to say is a good game, where you literally have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to play it, but you have this game which you could play on mobile, you could play on PC, you could play anywhere you go. There's so much content to do. You could literally sit here and just craft. You could sit here, you could do solo dungeons to farm content so you get better. You could do arena, you could do crystal arena, you could do corrupted dungeons in T5 and lower zones, just to farm up and get practice. That's what I'm doing because I don't feel like I'm good enough of a player to go out into higher tier zones yet. So I'm still practicing in tier 5 and lower zones because I do not lose all my gear in these zones. So there's still a lot of stuff you could do. Gear is relatively cheap in this game, so you can buy good sets for relatively cheap price. Um, it's just a matter of putting time into this game. But when it comes to mobile games and PC games, as far as MMOs go, this game is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the PvP content. Corrupted dungeons are a shitload of fun. So I just highly want to encourage anybody who hasn't tried this game yet. Don't be discouraged. Give this game a good try. You can message me on YouTube or in game. My in game name is 86. I'm more than willing to help out new players. I'm still a new player myself, so keep in mind I don't know everything about the game. But yeah. So if you want to get into this game, don't be afraid. Yes, if you go into the red or the black zone, you will lose your gear. There's certain other content. I believe Hellgates, you lose your gear too, and Avalonian runs, you lose your gear as well. But as long as you stay in tier 5 or lower content, you can get plenty of practice for the other higher tier content and farm up silver to be able to do the higher tier content. And that way, if you lose your gear, it's not really that big of a deal. You can even just create loadouts of your current gear. Um, like if you make like a good, like a cheap set that you want to take out, you could make a loadout of that. Then you could just straight up take it to the marketplace. You could just load the whole loadout and buy the whole thing again. It's super simple. They made it super intuitive. It's just really, really freaking amazing what they've done with this game. How do you buy loadouts again? There's a way to buy loadouts, so can't remember how. But oh, quick purchase loadouts. So you could just go to whatever loadout you have. If you make a cheap loadout, see, I got my light. This is my light bow loadout. I could just literally load the whole loadout. It'll cost me 134k. This is a little expensive. This isn't some. There's some things on here that, but I mean, even that, just buy. You could buy the whole loadout, and then you have all your stuff ready. If you lost it all, you can go right back into the content you were doing. As long as you stockpile enough silver to make sure you can purchase the gear that you have, you're good to go. If you want to go into the red and black zones. So just keep in mind this game isn't it's not doesn't have the bar to entry that most people think it does. It's a great game. It's a great MMO. I really feel like a lot more people should try it out. If you're interested in joining a guild, I do have a guild. You can message me in game, or you could just let me know your in game name, and I can send you a guild invite. The guild is the 86ers. So I'm trying to grow this guild and work on going to the black zone and hopefully doing some higher tier content. So let me know if you're interested. I also do stream every day over at twitch.tv/86. So be sure to check that out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.